All right, guys, we're here to talk about the turtle position. Specifically, we're going to talk about whether or not the seatbelt is an outdated approach to taking the top position in turtle. Okay, so before I talk about why or why not it may be, let's look at what that approach actually is. So, and this is going to be very typical, okay, in jiu-jitsu. You're good right here. So usually we've all been taught from the turtle position, okay, that we break our partner down, okay, we break our partner down to the side, okay, and then once we break them down to the side, this is where we lock the seatbelt, right? One arm over the shoulder, other hands under the far armpit, okay, and generally people approach taking the back from this position by first knee sliding, so let's rotate here. Okay, first sliding the knee in, right? And then kind of pulling their partner back on top of them so they can get the bottom hook in and then the top hook, right? Or, right, I break my partner down to a hip, okay? And I'm trying to sneak the hook in, but as Nate builds back to turtle, they throw the hook in here on the way back up. Or there's even variations where as Nate turtles, people jump over the top and then they roll to get the back. Okay, now obviously these techniques exist because they've been used. I mean, I used them for a very long time, but I would argue now, like 20 plus years of me training, not just in jiu-jitsu, but growing up wrestling as well, and then eventually fighting MMA, that I'm starting to think that the seatbelt is actually outdated, okay, when you're thinking about controlling someone from turtle and approaching breaking them down to either the back or the mount, okay? And let me show you guys why, okay? So let's talk about this here. So first things first, because of this common approach, and you see this, you even see this at the highest level, like I think this happened most recently with Mikey Musumeci's match, his last match in the UFC Fight Pass. I remember there's a specific instance, right? Mikey gets to the back here in turtle. He goes to seatbelt the guy, okay? And as soon as he seatbelts, right, all the guy did was quad potted up and Mikey fell right off, okay, the top, okay? So he did that without breaking him down. And this isn't, and that's someone high level, and this is not shooting on Mikey, but it's just showing that even people at the elite level make this mistake. And I see this all the time in the gym. Like I guarantee after this video, you guys go watch rounds at your gym or even at a tournament, and you'll see this happen so many times. If somebody goes seatbelt without breaking you down, the biggest hole in that is that your opponent can literally just quad pot up, and if you don't fall, okay, they can set up sweep attempts from there. So let me show you what I mean. If I'm in turtle, Nate throws the seatbelt in. All I have to do, okay, is I'm gonna quad pod, but I'm gonna pivot into Nate. So if he's on my right side, watch as I swing my hands and I quad pod here. Now notice, because he's going seatbelt, there's this huge hole right here. I could literally just swing my hand around and then circle around and start attacking a single leg or come out the back, okay? Because he's decided to keep one hand over the top, there's nothing stopping me from there, right? I could even use my leg. So if I get here, Nate gets turtle, right away I rotate into him and I quad pod. Even if I couldn't reach with my arm, like he's blocking it with his knee, I could step behind with my leg here. Okay, now we can go for a very effective turtle sweep here where I underhook, drop my knee, sweep, okay, here. Show that approach again. So I personally like to do this. That's why, like, a lot of times I'm not scared to turtle, because I know usually the first move for people is to jump on that seatbelt. And as soon as I feel the seatbelt, I just quad pot up every single time. Even works better in no-gi, okay? So Nate's here, okay? As soon as I feel him latch onto my back, pivot into him. Look at how I swing my hands. Boom. And if I can't get my hand around, I step around with my leg. Once again, I could underhook and drive Nate over. If he's on his knee, okay? Then I can just go over the top, drive him over here, okay? Now that also opens up that position for the roll through, right? So if I'm here, Nate's up, and I'm trying to drive, and Nate's resisting me, like he's opening his legs to resist, okay? Then I drop my knee, trap the wrists, okay, and I can roll through. You can do that same motion from when he's on his knees here. Okay, I'm trying to push him. He's still staying up. I could drive my knee to the middle, trap the wrists. We can roll through here. Okay, so if your opponent does not break you down to a hip, huge opening to just quad pod up. There's really nothing they can do to stop it. Even worse too is like if he goes seatbelt, I quad pod, he tries to jump on my back. Okay, here, I'm right here, Nate, go ahead. So I know a lot of people were like, okay, well, what happens when you quad pod? They throw 2 hooks in. I go, and Nate goes to jump on my back, okay? All I have to do is walk my hands close to my feet, okay? I'm gonna bring, so the side that he has the choking hand, okay, I'm gonna bring that hand to the dead center here with my palm turning out, okay? I'm gonna pivot my foot, and I'm gonna start peeling a hook here, okay? Because most of the time, when your opponent is hanging over the top of you, okay? When your opponent is hanging over the top of you, they can't focus on choking you because they're holding on, right? Let's just say even if he was adjusting the collar while I was there, so again, his strong arm's over my right, his choking hand. If I bring that hand to the middle with my fingers facing out, okay. Good? Okay, with my fingers facing out, when I pivot my foot, okay, I could even drop to a knee if I need. Okay, as he's trying to wrap up the collar, it's just too hard. Okay, because as soon as I get that foot off, he's going off. Okay, and again, no-gi, it's even easier too. You see people jump on the back and fall off all the time, right? You see, again, at the highest level, right? And that was no diss to Mikey. We all love Mikey. It was an observation how even at the highest levels, you still see people making that mistake because it's just a common approach, right? We don't really have anything else that people show that's usually taught, right? So the next thing, okay, let's just say Nate does the seatbelt approach right. So he breaks me down to a hip first. Okay, he breaks me down to a hip, now he goes seatbelt. Okay, now if you guys want an example of this, the best example that I could think of most recent would be Adam Warzinski's match with Roberto Jimenez in the most recent pans. So Roberto did that cartwheel pass. He got to the seatbelt, he slid his knee in. Now, as soon as he went to take the back, okay, it's pretty easy because the person, there's no dilemma here, right? The person, me, on bottom, I understand that my partner is gonna take my back in this position. So as long as I'm defensively responsible, he actually puts me in a good position to end up on top. Now, here's what it is. Nate's gonna slide this knee in because he's gonna carry my weight forward, or up, excuse me, and he's gonna try to get that bottom hook in first. That's his approach, right? So for me, he breaks me down, he's sliding that knee in. I just have to stay like a ball, okay? Stay like a ball. My left hand is monitoring this leg, okay? Now, as Nate goes to lift me up, okay, whether I control the pants here or I just keep my hand here, okay, as soon as he starts taking me, I could just clear his hips and then end up on top. I believe that happened twice in that match, if I'm not mistaken, right? And I've used it many times myself, okay? All it takes is awareness, okay? And the reason why you get caught there is because of that arm over the shoulder. Nothing's blocking my other hand from controlling the leg. So let's watch that again. Nate can try to do it at normal speed a little bit. So he breaks me down. He gets the seatbelt. He starts sliding his knee in. Look, as he starts carrying me over, I just take a little hop over, okay, and finish. Sorry for those of you that saw my illegal grip on Nate's pants. It still works with a legal grip. Let me show you, just in case you thought that grip mattered. Okay, here he goes. Here, legal. There we go. Boom. Clear the hips. Okay? All right, so that's one. The other one is Nate breaks me down. He slides the knee in, but I build back up to turtle because I know this is the one. I used to use this a lot when I was using the seatbelt, right? He breaks me down, and as I start coming up, Nate slides that right hook in here. Go ahead, keep the seatbelt. Do it again. Okay, here. So he breaks me down. He keeps his knee in the middle, and then as he feels me slide up, he just slides that hook in. Yeah, it's nice and smooth. It looks sick. I used to do it all the time. Okay, now we're in this position, right? So from here, this has actually been one of my favorite back/turtle escapes. So if he has one hook in seatbelt here, okay, I know generally we always want to protect the neck first, okay? So for what I'll do is just keep my chin down, okay? Because I know the only threat here is the collar choke, right? If he gets my collar, okay, but in order to finish it, he needs to jump over the top, or he needs to swing this leg around like a bow and arrow and go, okay? So as long as I keep my chin down, I actually don't care because there's gonna be a lot of things I'm gonna do fast. Let me move the mic so you don't hit it. Okay, let me move your hand real quick. All right, cool. So don't get the collar. So chin down. He goes for my collar. As soon as he goes for my collar, I'm gonna hook his thigh and grab my hamstring. Now I'm gonna fold my legs into like a pigeon stretch, okay? Try to hang on, Nate. Here. Okay, now from this moment, I'm gonna take his leg, okay? From this moment, I'm gonna take his leg and bring it across almost as if I'm inviting him to put me in a body triangle. The key here when you guys make this adjustment is keep your chest to the ground, so belly button facing the ground. If your chest rotates up, you're literally giving them the back. Okay, so it is a little bit of a fine line, but as long as you stay disciplined with keeping your belly down, it's a great escape. Now watch. Once I shelf the leg above, I'm gonna scissor my legs, build my hips up, okay? And I'm gonna keep sliding my knee across the hip as I shake. Here, so without a partner, that movement looks like this. He throws a hook in. As soon as he throws the hook in, I hook, fold my legs like here, kind of like a pigeon stretch, and you're gonna see that the foot is gonna pop out, and you're actually gonna pull it across your waist here. Then you're gonna scissor the legs, build the hips, and just keep shaking. So try to do it from this angle, Nate. Okay, so here, I come up, he throws the hook, boom, right away. Grab my hamstring, pigeon stretch, peel the hook. Okay, scissor my legs, try to hang on tight, Nate. I know a lot of people are like, oh, go ahead. You know what, Nate? Just rear naked choke me, Nate. Go ahead. Rear naked choke. Yeah, right here. Okay, ready? Squeeze. Ready? Go. Squeeze as hard as you can. Boom. Okay? And that might be, it might take patience because they might be latching onto you for dear life. But here's why that escape works. Okay, so if I'm here, so whenever we're looking to control the back, you need 2 points of connection, right? You need the hooks and you need the chest to back connection. Okay? A lot of the typical back escapes we're taught is to manipulate the chest to back connection via controlling the wrist, right? Controlling the seatbelt hand, right? Always monitor the hands first, right? This approach is a little bit different because I'm forcing a situation where I'm actually addressing the hooks, but I'm rotating Nate's lower body, making his chest to back connection shift off to the side. But it's very small to the point where the partner sometimes doesn't even recognize it. But by the time they do, I've brought the leg too far across my stomach to where they can't go back to the back. Okay, so I'll show this again. So try to look at Nate's hips. Look at the point, like take notice of the chest to back connection here. Go ahead and get the seatbelt and the hook. You could just jump right in. Okay, here, okay? Now from here, look, I hook, and look at the chest to back connection right here. You guys see how his chest slipped off? Okay, now as long as I stay disciplined, belly down, I'm gonna actually lift the leg, scissor, post, shake, shake, and they're gonna latch on here. Might take a little bit of patience, but the worst thing, or the only thing Nate can really do is maybe look to underhook my leg or try to attack an armbar from the closed guard. As long as I have that awareness and I keep my arms here, I'll be in a good spot. Okay? So as you can see, there's a lot of options here. There's a lot of outs, I would say, with the seatbelt. Now you'd be saying like, okay, well, why is it outdated? What do you have that's better, right? So for me, through my experience fighting, I realized the big thing from this position, because in MMA, you use the turtle a lot, especially against the cage, right? There is actually, you never go seatbelt, right? Everything is underneath the arms, very much like wrestling. So that forced me to kind of go back and almost like study and relearn all the old wrestling habits I had when I grew up, okay, from middle school to high school, right? Understanding like, okay, why did we do these things? So a wrestling approach is all about breaking your partner down, not to get a seatbelt, but to get a 2-on-1 wrist control here. So what I'm gonna show you guys is I'm gonna show you guys those 3 different scenarios, okay? But Nate's gonna get, instead of the seatbelt, he's just gonna get wrist control, okay? Just so we can see. So let's see the first one. So the first one we talked about quad pod, right? So if Nate goes seatbelt, right? I just quad pod up, okay? And I have space to get my leg or my arm. Now let's watch if Nate simply just keeps his arms underneath both armpits. Ready? I'm gonna do the same movement. Okay, it's so much harder because he's closing off that side with the underhook versus over, which then opens up that space, okay? Now let's take a look at the second one, right? If he gets, or I guess the second one we showed is from a quad pod, okay? Still wouldn't want to jump on my back even if he did have double underhooks because he's gonna shake off, right? So I wouldn't recommend doing that. So it's pretty much the same result for that one. But let's talk about if he breaks me down to the side. So instead of going seatbelt here, go seatbelt, Nate, so we can see. Remember, if he goes seatbelt and he tries to tilt, just drive the knee in, right? I just monitor the hooks, okay? And I slide out. But watch if he does the same exact thing with 2-on-1 wrist control. He breaks me down, 2-on-1 wrist control. Okay, now try to take my back here now. Good. Okay, because he's controlling that wrist, right? I can't control the hooks. Okay, and lastly, let's look at, okay, the final one. Okay, he has a leg ride here. Okay, and if he's controlling, let's just say my cross wrist here. Now, if I try to pivot and get out of that, okay, it's really hard. I can't escape. And that would work for both wrists, right? So I know that's just an example of just seeing the control with the same system, but in reality, right, like what I've been going over with the students, what I've been personally adding to my game is actually, well, I guess adding and taking away, is taking away the seatbelt, replacing it with a 2-on-1, right? And built basically a whole new system from Turtle, okay? So this video, I kind of wanted to show just the holes in the seatbelt approach, right? The traditional approach. Again, I'm not saying it's wrong. It's definitely effective to some degree, but I just think there's a better version, which we're gonna share with you guys the next video. So make sure to stay tuned for next week. We're gonna go over a whole turtle breakdown with the 2-on-1 wrist control. We're gonna show it no-gi, but it'll apply just as effective in the gi. As always, guys, please like and subscribe to support our channel. And if there's anything we can do better, please let us know in the comments. Also, if you disagree with us, please let us know and explain why. I'd love to learn. I'm super open to learning. All of us here at Kata, we just want to find the best approach to jiu-jitsu. We just want to keep pushing the craft forward. So if there's something I'm missing, again, leave a comment and let us know. All right, guys, thank you.